Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Ankur, and in today's video we are diving deep into one of the most powerful features of NextJs 15, that is data fetching in server component. With server component, you can now fetch data directly on the server using async await method without any client-side overhead. That means better performance, fast load time, and cleaner architecture for your React app. In this video, I will show you what server components are, how to fetch data with async function in them, and add a quick demo using the placeholder API step by step. So if you are building app with NextJs or want to make master modern React pattern, make sure to watch till the end. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get it started. So let's move on to the slides. So today video in this we are talk about data fetching for a component. With the RHA React server component architecture, we now have native support for async await directly inside the server component. That's right. You can now write your data fetching logic just like you would do in the regular JavaScript using async function and the await keyword. No more messy boilerplate or workaround. It is clear, readable, and super efficient. This makes fetching data on the server not only straightforward but also better for performance and SEO. Now, let's do a quick example in which we are going to develop a server component and we are fetching the data from the JSON placeholder from the JSON placeholder API where we have done which we have already used in the data fetching client context. So let's move on to the Visual Studio Code. Here we have already come to our Visual Studio Code. So here we are building as we are working or talk about the data fetching in server component. First of all we need to build a new folder related to the server. So here this is the user client which we have built in the last video. Now we can create a server for it. So we can click on app. We can create a folder with the name users/server, and inside that we can create a page.tsx in which we are fetching the data on the server component. So first of all we need a type user as we have in the user client. So we go for the user client. We can just copy paste this particular type of user in the server component also. So as it is a server component, we don't use the use client active on top because it is used on when we work with the client component. Now let's create a function for the server component. I can write expose default function and I can write server comp is equal to open a function. So as you all know that we have just talked about that the server component is we can use the async await method. So we can make our function as async. We can type a string function over here. After that I can create a variable with the name response. On that we can await and fetch the URL which is a JSON placeholder. We just copy from the user client. So let me copy the URL and we can just paste over there. We can work on the same as user on the user's API as we have the word also in the client component in that. We can use the users which is of type user. It is an array and we can give an await method over there. We can pass a response.json format JSON to it and we can close it, and now we can console.log and users display the user from the console. So now let's run the server and see what we see on the user when we visit the user-server on the browser. So let's run our server npm run dev command. I can type npm run dev command to start the server. Now our server is going to be started. Now localhost 3000 go to the browser. Now as you can see that our home page is now on our server get started and the home page is viewable there. So now we can visit user/server. We can press enter over here and we can also click on F12 so that we can see the log users which we want to which will display in the console. So here you can see that the users detail from 1 to 3, 4, 10 all the users are displayed in the console statement. Now let's display that user in the UI part of this server component. For that, we can just copy the return statement from the client side. So we can just copy all the return statement, copy it and paste it inside the server component. We can remove the console log users from here so that we can see the so that we can all return the UI of that path. We simply display the user detail such as user.name, username, email, phone, and we have already done in the client core. Now we hit the same page, same URL on the browser. Now you can close this tab over here. Now reload. Now you can see that already all the data 10 users are displayed on the browser. So this is how you can display the data or data fetch from the server component. In this, we want to discuss some concept which is called request memorization. So let's do that. In this, when we fetch data from the server component, we have another concept in this which is request memorization. So what is request memorization in NextJS? So it is like a smart shortcut system that NextJS 15 used to make your website faster and more efficient. How this request memorization had the website to be made faster. So imagine someone asks you the same question 10 times in a row. Instead of thinking through the answer each time, you just remember what you said before and give the same response quickly. That exactly what request memorization does. When the request come into your app like loading page or fetching data, NextJS remember how it handled that request. If the same request happen again, it reuse the previous result super fast without doing the work all over again. Let's give me a quick example to see how it will be done. So here you can see that I am showing you the example of request memorization. In this, I am creating a async function of get user ID. In this, we are fetching the data on the basis of ID from the api.example.com/user/id. If we pass ID1, the user related to the ID1 will be fetched from this. So if we are not using the request memorization, if we are asking that if we get user 1, it calls 3 times to deliver the request. It fetches the data 3 times. So if the get user fetch 10 times, the data will be fetched 10 times. So this is the problem with the server also, that all the request API will be unnecessary, overload the server by making multiple requests over time. So with the help of request memorization in NextJS 15, it fetch once and reuse the result from the another call, all within the same request, due to which the our server not become overloaded with the number of requests asking from the front-end chat. So this is the request memorization. This is the use of request memorization in NextJS 15. I hope you understand how the request memorization worked in NextJS 15. So I hope that you are easily able to understand what is request memorization in NextJS 15. So request memorization in NextJS 15, remember to the result of function can fetch during the single request. So it don't repeat the same work. That make your app faster, more efficient. So that's how you can easily fetch data and server component using async await in NextJS 15. It keeps your code clean, improve performance, and give you full control over server-side rendering. I hope this video help you understand the basics. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more React and NextJS tutorials. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.